Hello everyone, I'm Caven. Welcome to another video on my channel. This is a little Halloween card that I've made. You can find the files on my Etsy website, Paper Cut Panache. Now, this one is really cute. I make them fairly small, about 5.5 by 5.5, because I think that's a really perfect size to make them. Now, I'm going to just show you each layer. I'm just going to, that's a bit too small, show the layers to you and give you a little bit of advice on how to best cut these layers. Design Space is a little bit laggy today. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so that's all of my layers. Now, the front one here might benefit from being cut on the intricate cuts setting, simply because it's got lots of little thorns and a little ghost down here, quite a few small areas to cut. This one here also may benefit because of the tiny little crosses and things that it's got. These other ones should be fine just on the medium cardstock setting, with a little bit of extra pressure, which I always like to give it. And of course you can make them any colour at all that you want to. I've given you a few little extra bits and pieces. This is a little vulture and 3 little extra bats so that you can decorate your card later if you feel it needs a little bit of extra something. These are the 2 sides and they are already in perfect proportion and ready to fit onto your Halloween card. So I think what I'll do now is I'll leave Design Space and go to my table and show you how I assemble these. Don't go away. Here are my pieces all cut out and ready to go. Let's just have a very quick look at them. We have the front, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, layer 5, the back piece, and my 2 side pieces. So let's get started and I'll show you how to assemble this card. Well, my front piece and my back piece, they're the ones that don't have any tabs on them. They're the ones that are going to be glued on later, so I'm going to just set them aside for now. It's a really good idea with these ones to keep them in the right order, just so that you don't get confused. Pop them up there for now. I'm going to begin with the side pieces. Now, as you can see, the shape that they're cut into, these are the tabs, this one and this one and this one and this one. They're going to be glued. So I need to score a line from the little point here all the way down to the little point here. I'll do the first one and then I'll speed it up so you don't have to watch me score all 4 of them. So I like to just line it up on my mat. Grab my ruler and my scoring tool. Now I could do this on Cricut, but I prefer to do it by hand because it allows me to use a little bit more pressure. I have them both scored, and now I'm going to fold up the tabs. Now you may notice when you look at these that there's a little bit of difference in them. This space here between the edge and the cut is less than this space here between the cut and the edge. Same on both of them. They both go the same way up, of course, and the space at the top with the less space is the part that goes to the top. And it's easy to tell this because if you take one of your pieces and just hold it beside the tabs, you'll be able to see that it's going to line up quite nicely here. Whereas if I had it the other way around and lined up the tabs this way, see how it's hanging below the side piece? So that's no good. So we need them both to be this way with the narrower part at the top of both of them. Now to begin, all you need to do is, as I just did, take the first layer, and the first layer goes into the first tabs. You simply slot them in like so. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that when I first started making these, it was incredibly frustrating because the tabs kept falling out when I was trying to put the card together. I've seen other ways of doing it, and they have like a little hooky part on they have like a little hook on a part here that's supposed to hold it in. But I discovered that that didn't really happen to hold it in very well either. So what I like to do is to use some of this tape. It's kind of a low tack tape, so it's not going to stick very hard. And I'm going to just put it temporarily onto the backs of the tabs. I've already got a little bit of it cut here, just to hold them in place while I get all of them on. So that's all I do. And that just holds it in place nicely and stops the tabs from falling out while I put the rest of it on. Now, it's not going to matter because we're going to take this tape off at the end. So let's put the second side in. Make sure that your side is the right way up with the least amount of space at the top. And pop those tabs into the front holes. Very simple. Make sure, oops, see how easily they slip out. Trying to get into the second hole. All right, give them a bit of a tap. Make sure that everything is nice and even. Turn it over. And just stick a little bit of tape on it. As I said, it's temporary. We'll take the tape off later, so it doesn't matter. And that's the first piece already on. So that's how it's going to look. Now I'm just going to put all the other layers on in exactly the same way. So obviously the second layer will go into the second hole. Always make sure everything's going to be nice and even. There we go. That's all of the layers on now. I just have to now do the front and the back. All held together nicely by that little bit of sticky tape, which we are going to remove. Looking very cute, very sweet. Okay, so now it's time to do the back and the front. I like to start with the back, not for any particular reason, just because I like to start from the back. So grab your back piece. I also forgot to mention that I kind of like my back and my sides to be the same color. Now that's just a thing that I like, so you can make them any color that you want to. You simply need to glue the back onto this tab here, and then on the other side onto this tab here. You don't need a lot of glue, just a little bit. And it's a good idea to use a glue. It'll give you a little bit of wiggle room to make sure that you've got everything straight and lined up properly. So line it up with the fold and line it up with the bottom. And it's a good idea to give it a few moments to dry. When you think it's dry enough, you can very carefully fold it the other way. Make sure that it doesn't move. And now we're going to glue the back to this tab here. Kind of just let it fall naturally, and then you can adjust it if you need to. We can turn it over, and we're going to do the same with the front. This tab first, and then this tab here second. And there we have it. That's our little card all put together. That's how he looks from the top, when you can see the different layers. From the side, from the back. Now on the back, I like to put something that says Happy Halloween, or just a space where somebody can write a message. It's the perfect place for it. So now that it's all dry, I'm going to go ahead and remove all these little bits of sticky tape. Just with a pair of tweezers. It comes off really easily. There we go. Now all of the sticky tape is off, but the little tabs won't fall out because having glued the sides on, everything just holds together nicely now. The nice things about making these little cards is that if you're going to post them, they lay flat, which means that they're a lot less expensive than posting, say, a shadow box, which is, thick by this wide. That can be quite expensive to post. So these will post just in a normal little flat bag. And there we go, it's finished. It's very cute. Everything stands out really nicely. You can see down into the tunnel through each of the layers. I don't think I can go too close because I lose focus. Now, what I was thinking of doing with this one, remember the little vulture that I had? I was thinking that I might actually put him on the top of perhaps the black layer and have him sitting up here like this, along with some extra little bats that I might put on as well, just to decorate it a little bit. So you can do anything you like with the way you decorate it. You can just put a little bat here. Okay, it's entirely up to you, but you have got the little vulture and the extra little bats that you can use to decorate it if you'd like to. I hope you like it. I think it's just so cute. Now you'll find SVG files and PNG files for sale on my Etsy shop. papercutpanache.etsy.com is where you'll find them. You'll also find that I'm going to put this finished little box up on my site as well for sale. So you might be interested in buying the finished product or the files if you'd like to have a go at making it yourself. And if you do purchase the files, if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to contact me. You'll find lots of ways to contact me on my Etsy website. And that's about it for today's tutorial.